Hey everyone, we're about to dive into one of the most famous phrases ever spoken, but probably not in the way you're used to hearing it. We're going to look at it through a bit of a mystical lens, one that might just change how you see it forever. All right, let's get right into it. Most of us, we've heard these words 1,000 times. They're powerful, they're direct, and they're pretty much a cornerstone of Christian ethics. And on the surface, it seems simple enough, right? Be kind, look out for each other. But what if this wasn't just about being a good person? What if this commandment was actually a clue, pointing to a fundamental law of the universe, the very essence of divine consciousness itself? Now that's the question we're digging into today. So, our first step here is to redefine what this love actually is. Because according to this esoteric perspective, it's something way, way deeper than what we usually think of. See, this isn't about that warm, fuzzy, sentimental feeling. It's a call to embody what some mystical traditions call Christ consciousness. Just think of it as this state of unconditional awareness that exists beyond our personal judgments, our ego, and all our fears. And the standard here? Wow, it's incredibly high. The key phrase is, "as I have loved you." That right there points to something that goes way beyond typical human affection. It's a spiritual love, one that's rooted in a deep understanding, in sacrifice, and in this feeling of unity with everything.
Okay, so let's go a layer deeper into the esoteric meaning. This is where things start to get really interesting from a mystical point of view.
So, what is this Christ consciousness love? Well, it's defined as an unconditional awareness that sees right past all the external stuff, our differences, our flaws, and recognizes the exact same divine spark of God inside every single person. No exceptions. In this slide, it just lays out the difference perfectly. Our everyday affection, well, it's often conditional, right? We love someone because they're funny, or kind, or whatever. But this spiritual love, it's totally unconditional. It doesn't depend on what somebody does. It just is.
And here's the big one, the core mystical idea. From this perspective, love isn't just an emotion that we feel. It is the fundamental frequency of creation. It's the pure energy of the divine that flows through and literally holds together everything that exists.
Okay, so what does this superpowered love actually look like in action? In the real world? Well, the source material gives us 4 amazing examples of how Jesus demonstrated it. First, through just radical compassion. He was constantly embracing people on the fringes of society, the outcasts. He saw past their actions, past their social status, and looked directly into the pure essence of their soul. Second, through ultimate forgiveness. Think about it. In a moment of absolute agony, his response wasn't anger or revenge, but a plea for mercy. That's a love that completely transcends personal pain. And then you have the act of service. By washing his disciples' feet, a job reserved for the lowest of servants, he showed that this divine love is expressed through deep, genuine humility. It just flips our entire idea of what greatness is completely upside down. And finally, through sacrifice. His last act isn't framed as some grim obligation, but as the ultimate demonstration of a love so boundless, so selfless, that it holds absolutely nothing back. So, here's the most important part, right? This isn't just some ancient story. How in the world can we apply this incredibly profound teaching in our own, often pretty chaotic, modern lives? Well, the teaching gives us some really practical advice. It means making a conscious choice, choosing empathy when your first gut reaction is to judge. It's about really listening to understand someone, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It's about seeing the human being beyond all the labels we stick on people and trying to respond to tough situations with peace instead of just reacting. And for anyone who wants a really direct, hands-on practice, here's a simple meditation. You just sit quietly, focus on your breathing, and in your mind, repeat the affirmation. As Jesus loves me, I love all beings. Then, just visualize this warm, golden light expanding out from your heart to embrace everyone, and affirm to yourself, I am an expression of Christ's light. Now, let's explore one final, absolutely fascinating mystical concept that is tied directly to this commandment. It's this idea of the spiritual mirror. The principle is actually simple, but man, is it profound. It suggests that when you love another person, you are, in a very real way, loving yourself. And why is that?
because the exact same divine life, that same spark, is animating both of you. You're basically recognizing your own divine nature reflected back at you in them.
So you see, loving others becomes way more than just a moral duty. It's actually a direct path for your own spiritual growth. When you withhold love, you're pretty much building a dam that blocks that divine energy inside of yourself. But when you extend it, especially to people you find difficult, you're actually expanding your own soul's light.
Ultimately, the entire message boils down to this incredibly powerful idea. To live in the state of unconditional, transcendent love is to live in a state of unity with the divine. They're not two different things. They're one and the same.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The ultimate proof of getting this teaching isn't about what you believe in your head or the words you say. It's all about the tangible, real love you show to other people. It's not something you do, it's something you become. So I guess the real question is, what would our world look like if we all tried to see each other through that lens?